Welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can print this particular pattern. So let us go ahead and see how we can print this particular pattern. So if you carefully observe, in this pattern, we have 5 rows, right? We have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 5 rows, 4 rows and 5 rows. So to keep track of these rows, I am using a variable which is of rows. So as we have 5 rows, I am mentioning rows as 5. Later, we will take dynamically input from the user. So based on the user input, we will print the pattern accordingly. So for the time being, let us take the rows as 5. So next, what I will be doing is that to generate these rows, to generate 5 rows, I will be using a for loop. For that reason, for I'm using a variable I in range. Now I will be generate a range of values. So what would be the range of values? So as we have 5 rows, we need to generate 5 rows, right? So for that reason, I am using 1, 2 rows plus 1. So I am starting with the value 1. I will be going till the value of rows. So for that reason only I am mentioning rows plus 1. By mentioning rows plus 1, we can go up to the value of rows. So for that reason only I am mentioning rows plus 1. So if we go here and if we print the value of I to check what we have in I, so we can see the result as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now by using this, we can able to generate 5 rows. So if you compare these values with this particular pattern, in first row we have 1, in the second row we have 1, 2, in the third row we have 1, 3. In the similar way, we have in the first row 1, in the second row we have 2, in the third row we have 3. So by using this, we can able to generate these values, right? So if you carefully observe these rows, in the first row we are getting 1, in the second row we are getting 1, which means that we are starting with the value 1 and we are going till the value of I here, right? So that is what we can observe from this. We are starting with the value 1 and we are going up to the value of I. So you can understand this particular I result with this particular pattern. So for that reason, what we do when we have a repeating statements here, these are all the repeating statements, right? We are starting with 1, we are going till the value of I. So that is repeating on each row. For that reason, what I will be doing is that I will use another for loop. In this for loop, that will becomes inner loops. So for that reason, I am using j in range. Now I will be generate a range of values. So what would be the range of values? As we have discussed, we need to go till the value of how many till the value of I, right? So where we need to start is that we need to start with 1 and we need to go till the value of I plus 1. So that is what I am mentioning in here. So later what we will be doing is that instead of printing I, we will print j here. So if we can print j here, we are starting on each inner for loop. We are starting with the value of 1. We are going till the value of 5. So in the first row, we will be starting with 1 and we will go till the value of I, which is of 1. We will get 1. So that will becomes end of this for loop and we come back and go to this outer for loop. Then I value will become 2. So like that, we can actually print everything. So if I execute this particular thing, we can get this result in the new line characters. But if we can observe these values, so we have 1, we have 1, 2, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, we are getting all the result. But the only thing that what we need to do is that we just need to arrange this so that we could actually get the pattern. So for that, I will be using an end is equal to one single space. By default, a print statement having end parameter as new line character. For that reason only, we are getting everything in this particular new line. So if I execute this, I can able to get everything in a single line, but that is not also what we wanted. We wanted to get this particular pattern. So if you carefully observe this inner for loop, as and when this inner for loop got failed, we are directly going to this outer for loop. But instead of directly going to this outer for loop, if we could have a new line character here, we can actually get this particular pattern, right? So for that reason, by default, print statement have a end parameter new line character. For that reason, I am simply mentioning a print statement here. So now if we execute this, we can able to get this pattern that what we have expected here, right? You can compare both of these patterns. We are getting the actual pattern. So I hope you can able to understand this pattern, how we are getting this logic through this pattern. So if you got any confusion during this printing this pattern, you can quickly go through the video once again so that you can able to understand. Now what we will be doing is that we will dynamically take input from the user and print accordingly. So for that reason, I am mentioning int input. I am asking user to enter rows. So if I execute this, if I give the value 5, I can able to get this particular pattern, right? So if I give one more value, let's say I am giving 8 here, still we are able to get this particular pattern with starting with I and going to I value on each row. So now you can able to understand this. So I hope you can able to understand this logic, and I hope you have found this video interesting. If that is true, hit the like button. In the next video, we will see how we can print this particular pattern. So to stay updated, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.